Not recommend wearable pumps if you're struggling with low supply, pumping full time, if you have a history of mastitis, if you already have nipple damage, and thinking of getting a breast pump but not sure where to start. I've helped hundreds of parents as a lactation consultant, and I'm here to talk you through like a friend, helping you find the right pump for your needs. Let's talk about hospital grade options, built-in motors, hands-free styles, suction strings, flange sizes, and what's actually worth spending your money on. Here are the types of breast pumps available on the market. I've divided them into 5 different categories. Number 1, manual breast pump. It's usually more affordable, manually operated, and easy to carry around. Number 2, electric pump. Available in single or double options such as Medela or Spectra. Number 3, wearable pumps with separate motors, just like this new one from Medela. Number 4, wearable pumps with built-in motors. Yes, they're super insta-worthy, but they're not always the most durable or the strongest. Number 5, hospital-grade pumps. They are known for their high durability and comfort, usually best for stimulating or if you're trying to establish your milk supply. Please keep watching. We're going to go through each of these options and compare them in terms of durability, portability, ease of cleaning, suitability for different types of pumping, and most importantly, comfort and milk removal. Why do you need or not need a pump? Let me be clear, I 100% support exclusive breastfeeding and recognize its physiological, emotional, psychological, and environmental benefits for both mothers and babies. If you don't have a reason to pump, you probably don't need to spend your money on one. Just continue breastfeeding your beautiful child. But if you're looking for a pump that suits your needs, it's very important for you to know the purpose of why you're pumping, because that's going to affect the frequency and what type of pump you need to buy. Here are some common reasons for why people choose to express. Hopefully one of them applies to you. Manual pumps. These are pretty straightforward. Let's hop on Baby Buntings because it's one of the most commonly accessible shops in Australia for baby products. So we're on Baby Buntings together under breast pumps. Let's just go into manual pumps. There are 16 products in total. First of all, I'd like to mention that the haakaa, which is this one here, this is not a breast pump, it's a milk collector with an additional suction. So I would not be buying this if you're relying on something to actively withdraw your milk out for you. Manual pumps are usually the lightest and generally more durable because they don't rely on a motor. It's just a mechanical structure. The suction strength depends on how firmly you squeeze the liver on your hand, which is going to vary depending on how heavy or light-handed you are. In terms of the flange fitting, unfortunately the flange sizes are very limited and it's harder to find inserts for a manual pump to optimize comfort for you. However, manual pumps are great if you already have an established milk supply, if you're mostly breastfeeding and need something small for occasional use, and if you really dislike the loudness and the sucking rhythm of electric pumps, it's worth trying a manual pump. Just keep in mind that you're going to be sitting here and using your arm to manually do that for 10 to 15 minutes. So that's probably the biggest barrier of using a manual pump. Hand expression is also an option if you're happy with this technique. If you're going to be pumping more than once a day, it's worth considering electric pump options instead. Now let's talk about wearable pumps. They have been so popular everywhere on Instagram. I can see collabs with moms and pumping companies raving about these. If you have a great milk supply and you just want to pump just a few times a day, or are always on the go because you have multiple children, wearable pumps can suit you quite well. But I would not recommend wearable pumps if you're struggling with low supply, you're pumping full time, as in you're not breastfeeding, this is your only way of milk removal. If you have a history of mastitis, if you already have nipple damage and you are pumping to rest your nipples from breastfeeding. Why? Because it's harder for you to center your nipple and get the right flange size fitted due to the pump shape and the double layer design. This is a wearable breast pump that I have here as a demonstration, and you can see that compared to a conventional traditional breast pump and flange design, wearable pumps usually look quite bulky, and because of the double layer design, your milk flows into here, there's no bottle to catch it. It's actually a lot harder for you to see where your nipple actually is sitting in the pump. Because the pump sits into your bra and you're most likely to scroll on your phone and multitask, which can affect your letdown reflex and how much milk that you're expressing out. For women with larger pendulous breasts, it may simply not create enough vacuum and sit in where it's supposed to sit and shift around in your bra and simply just come off while you're using it. The added pressure of your bra holding the pump in place will create an additional force and pressure, and sometimes can increase the risk of you having plug ducts around the sides of the flange. Here are some of the wearable pump options available from Baby Buntings. You can see that they all have a similar design and they're usually quite bulky. Spectra also has a wearable pump option. And you can see on the Spectra website that it literally tells you that it won't be the best option for everyone and it comes with a learning curve for most. And honestly, if the learning curve means risking your nipple trauma, your nipple pain getting worse, or mastitis, it is not worth it. Looking at the review of this Spectra pump on the website, a lot of the reviews will mention leaking bottles, poor fit, less milk collected with the wearable pump compared to the conventional pump. However, wearable breast pumps also have some great benefits. They are more lightweight, they can be more discreet, portable, and quiet, which means if you're working, traveling, or going to an event, they're more easy to bring around with you. You just really need to be careful and always center your nipple properly when you're using it and practice using it before you take it for an event to prevent leaking, and make sure that the suction vacuum is comfortable for you and basically that it's doing what it's supposed to do. In terms of power and durability, these pumps are generally less powerful than traditional electric ones. In saying that, you can get wearable pump with built-in motors and a pump with a separate motor. The one with separate motor are most likely to be more powerful and durable, but it kind of defeats the purpose when it has additional tubing attached to it and not in your bra, in my opinion. The flange sizes vary wildly between brands and can be hard to source. Some brands are better with their flange size options. The brand Lacevo, for example, comes with 5 flange inserts. Tommy TP comes with 2 flange inserts, as you can see here, but when you actually go onto the website to order some free flange inserts, I actually couldn't even find out how to order them. Some wearable pumps also come with extra parts and app connectivity. Personally, the last thing I want is fumbling with the phone app in the middle of the night when you really need to be pumping, feeding your baby, and going back to sleep. But hey, to each of their own. I would recommend a wearable pump to you if you already have a great established milk supply, if you're mostly breastfeeding, or if you need to be multitasking to be able to fit a pumping session into your day. Electric pumps come with single or double options. Time-wise, pumping usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. A double pump can save time, but some parents find it very hard and overwhelming and prefer using a single pump. In terms of portability and durability, a bigger motor is often less portable, but usually more durable, especially from reputable brands like Medela and Spectra. Some examples of our recommended models are the Medela Swing and the Spectra S1 and S2. If you want a long-term pump and do not want to hire one, these are great options. They're also the closest to hospital-grade pumps available to buy. These are what we recommend for moms who need to express exclusively. For example, if you have a baby in the special care nursery, or if you need to be pumping after every breastfeed to triple feed it for a while to establish your supply. These pumps may not offer all flange sizes available directly from their website, but you can get extra flanges from third-party stores like Mom on Amazon. In my last video, I made a full video on flange sizing, how important it is, why it's important, how to measure for your right flange sizes, and how to pick one for different pumps. So if you're interested, please stay till the end of the video and it will take you to the link of the flange sizing video. These conventional electric pumps are suitable for women who are pumping more than once or twice a day, who are exclusively pumping, who are triple feeding, trying to establish a milk supply, or if baby is still learning how to breastfeed. Hospital grade pumps, think Medela Symphony, used in most maternity wards in Australia. The key differences between the electric pumps we just discussed and the hospital grade pumps is that the hospital grade pumps usually have a closed system, which means it's more hygienic for multiple users, built for long-term and frequent use. With the system for multi-users, you can bring your own pump part and use it for 10-15 minutes and quickly wipe down the exterior, remove your pump sizes, and someone else can use it straight away. These pumps are large and only work when plugged into power and are best for frequent use, stimulation, and intervention for low milk supply. They're very expensive to buy, so they are usually only available for renting. The hospital grade pumps are great if you need to be pumping 8 or more times every day, if you're struggling with your milk supply, if you're not sure how long you're going to be breastfeeding or expressing for. In that case, it can be quite convenient to just rent one. Or if you're suddenly discharging from hospital and you need to be using a pump and you are not able to buy one urgently, you can usually just Google hospital grade breast pump hire and find a facility around you where you can rent it from. Hacks. Pumping bras can also make standard electric pumps hands-free. You can also DIY this by picking a bra that's not too tight with a gentle layer of padding. You cut a small hole in the middle of an old bra and then secure the flanges to activate its hands-free function if you're using a conventional breast pump. If you're someone that panics whether milk is coming out or not as soon as the pump is switched on, put some socks on the bottle and cover the bottle. Distract yourself because relaxing when expressing can really make a huge difference and promote the letdown reflex. I have a video on 13 tips to promote the letdown reflex. And remember, pump with purpose. Don't obsess over building a giant freezer stash of milk at the cost of triggering an oversupply or losing joy in this precious time. The best breast pump is the one that fits your body, your lifestyle, and your goals. If you're still not sure, reach out to a lactation consultant like me or leave a comment down below. I'm always happy to help. See you in the next one.